By most standards, Dr. David Montague is an expert on the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The college professor served on the Assassination Records Review Board in the late 90s.
Having no tilting either way, walking into working at the review board, I saw a lot of things, and I've seen no real smoking gun, if you will, in terms of a document. But just based on the complexity of the things that I've been involved with, and of course some things are still, I don't think have been released yet, but there's a lot that has been released. I just, in using my own common sense, I don't know how one person could have done that.
When Dr. Montague was appointed to the board, he was only 28 years old. The interview skills he had honed working with the Drug Enforcement Agency positioned him for the honor.
There were lots of people that still felt as though their stories had not been told. There were some people that felt as though they had material that should have been turned over, or they say they turned over material and they were wondering what happened to it. They've not heard about it. And so by the time our agency was set up, it seemed for some people, especially those who were getting older and were alive during the time of the assassination, that it might give them not only a sense of closure, maybe, but also the ability to address some outstanding issues come forth.
Professionally, it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
The head of the JFK collection comes in and says, I brought in a few items I thought you guys should probably, especially to get David on board, you know, to really make sure he understands what he's dealing with. And I'm thinking like, okay, I don't know what was this about, you know. So he breaks out a few of these boxes, and I believe they were called Hollinger boxes. And they're boxes that are used for storage of archival material. And they have all these procedures they go through to be able to handle the materials. And they laid some of these things out.
That is correct. That is correct.
This is a sad time for all people. We have suffered a loss that cannot be weighed. For me, it is a deep personal tragedy. I know that the world shares the sorrow that Mrs. Kennedy and her family bear. I will do my best. That is all I can do. I ask for your help and God's.
For 50 years, America has wrestled with that tumultuous time in its history.
Some people did not like his views on civil rights, and we know there was a lot of work being done to try to do even more progressive things, civil rights, especially as a Morehouse man like I am. That means a lot, because then you start thinking tangentially about what was going on with Dr. King, what was going on with Bobby Kennedy and his effort to investigate organized crime, all these different connections.
In 1998, the review board disbanded, having been established for only a limited time. But even today, Dr. Montague is a sought-after speaker for his experience. Most recently in Los Angeles at a conference, he met a nurse, Phyllis Hall, who was in Trauma Room 1 when the president was shot.
It was really interesting to be right there with her in the same room, and for her to share her story about what it was like to, just like me, she didn't plan on being there. She just happened to be there that day. She had only been connected with Parkland for a short period of time. And then, lo and behold, she's against the wall in the trauma room. She sees all types of folks there, you know, the Vice President Johnson and the First Lady, you know, all of these military personnel, Secret Service, Dallas Police, all there, and just what a crazy experience that was for her medically.
For the Village Celebration, I'm Vicki Newton.